Hey Snickerdoodles! Friendship is magic. There, I said it, and I don't regret it. Well, that being said, I'm going to be doing something a little different today. I'm going to be talking about internet friendships a little bit, as if the title didn't already give it away. But anyway, that's basically what I'm going to be doing here. Also, I normally save these kind of things for text reviews, but today I'll be voicing my thoughts on the matter over some random footage clips. Yeah, I'm a ripoff. Sue me. Love you. Anyway, let's get to it, shall we? This kind of thing could be very divisive. Some people believe in internet friendships, myself included. But on the other end of the spectrum, there are people on and off, usually the latter, who don't believe in it. They have this strong sense that if someone is not in the same vicinity as you, they are not your friends. I highly disagree with that. In all of my years on the internet, I met quite a few people and have made some friends. While I may have grown apart from some of these friends, it didn't make the experience any less meaningful. But that's normal, isn't it? You could even grow distant and apart from your friends you've had in real life, such as at school or work and the like. Just because it's on the internet, it doesn't mean it's exclusive to having friendships grow apart. In the days before the internet became available to the public through computers, and even in the days before the telephone was invented, the only means of long-distance communication was letters. In the early days, back when calling long distance wasn't quite as easy as it is today, there still remains sending letters. There was the pen pal system, which was exchanging letters from someone at a distance, a friend usually in a different country, but it could also apply nationally as well. People found ways to stay connected to each other despite living so far away from one another. These days, with the internet, instant messaging services, and social networking sites, it's so much easier to connect with other people around the world. Making friends on the internet, depending where you go and how much time you spend on some of these places, it can be pretty easy. It's a pretty different kind of friendship, in a sense, and again, is a lot different than it used to be. Exchanging photos are easier, you have web cameras, microphones. It's all a surefire way to really know who you're talking to and getting the real deal. Much like in real life, it's all about maintaining these friendships. It can be easy and yet hard in some respects, just like it would be in real life. The same kind of thing goes for relationships. Now, in some respects, a relationship online is around the same kind of thing. Kind of. And let me stress that so you guys don't get offended. Kind of. I don't have experience in the field, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know what it entails. Like with online friends, there comes patience and maintenance. Now, I'm going to turn this over to two people much smarter than me and with more experience in the field. Two friends of mine both run an advice blog on Tumblr. One ask they were given was about online relationships. The question was about this: can online relationships work? Here's what they had to say on the matter. She said, yes, but not everyone is up to the challenge. Long-distance relationships can be stressful, believe me, I know, and they often require a different approach to how one would normally approach a relationship. Depending on the distance between the two, everyone must take into account that you likely live in different time zones, and that you probably won't be able to see each other all the time. People get busy, people have sudden schedule changes, people's internet connections conk out. Any number of random things can affect a long-distance or online relationship, and the two of you must take measures to be able to understand that. Most importantly, jealousy has no place in these kinds of relationships. Long-distance relationships are only ever soured by jealousy and paranoia. If you think your partner is sleeping with someone behind your back, you better be able to prove it. And if you can't, drop the paranoia. Okay, so then he said, in theory, yes. In practice, not so much. A long-distance relationship can only ever be sour when people approach it like any other relationship. Mostly because these are often handled online, and as such, your ability to spend time with each other is always affected by factors such as internet connection, battery life, and random things that could happen on the other side of a chat window/video panel. Patience is the key here. Long-distance relationships are subject to lag. Okay, so then that's their quotes on the matter. Now, they both make good points on it. Long-distance relationships and even friendships can still work. You just have to consider all the factors at hand and take a lot of different measures to understand how it all works. It's not impossible, far from it, but it can be tricky if you're not willing to put the effort into it. The biggest factor is being able to spend time together and contacting each other. Unless you actually do exchange phone numbers with your online friends, which again is possible, it's not always easy to get a hold of them or to know what their schedule is in their day-to-day lives. Even in real life, unexpected factors can come up and hinder contact in some form. But this is just where you have to understand these factors at hand and maintain the relationship with patience. That's the very key here, patience. As well as that, to just have fun together. Great friendships can and will be formed. You can even meet someone, form a relationship, and eventually marry them. All of these things can happen. We all face them differently, and while the circumstances vary, they are possible still. I have made a lot of great friends. Some come and go, it happens. While the distance can take its toll on all of us, it still doesn't stop us from having fun and just being friends. On any normal day I talk to my online friends, it really is almost as if we're in the same room together just hanging out. We understand the factors at hand, and while it's a default disappointment that we all have to live so far away from one another, it definitely isn't a huge detriment. No one is demanding, impatient, nor unreasonable. Aside from a few lousy experiences I've had in the past, there really hasn't been much of an issue. We're all varying ages of young adults, maybe sometimes older or younger than I am, and we understand how online friendship works. We basically work with what we have. That's the best you can do in an online relationship, to make the best of what you have and work with it. It may not always be easy to meet in person one day, but it can be done. I actually did get a chance to meet an online friend of mine at one time. It was in November 2011, and I met my friend Jenna, aka Azor129. It was brief, she stayed for one night at my place, and while we didn't do very much, it was still a very pleasant visit. We had fun, and it was nice to actually meet an internet friend in person, and it felt very surreal. We're still friends and talk to each other often to this day. In the past year or so, I've had the chance to make some new friends. I have to admit that it's been very surreal for me. An experience that I'm very thankful for, and I'm also very thankful for the friends I still have today. They really mean a lot to me, and I consider my closest friends and my most trusted friends. Just because they live far away from me, just because I can't see them in person, doesn't make them any less than my dear friends. I love them all, and I hope that we can be friends for a long time. I love you guys. I really do. I hope you know that, because I do. Well, that's my time, and that's all I really have to say on the matter. All I can say is, to all my fans, you snickerdoodles, I love you guys, you're the best, thank you. And to all my friends, once again, thank you for being there, and thank you for giving me a chance. I love you guys, and I hope we can all have a great time in the future. Well, see you guys later, and thanks for watching.